something to attack the man, all times, right? So if you imagine, even if all I can get is a wrist, I can get a wrist now, and with that wrist, I can get throw, and that's not quite worked enough, so I can chin jab it. And that's not quite worked enough, so I can edge of hand it. And that's not quite worked enough, so I'm going to chin jab it again. And I'm going to raise that elbow. You know, it's all about making that contact stick around the face. Whether it's crushing the windpipe, striking under the jaw, scraping on or crushing or compressing these eyes, pulling and twisting hair or ears, it's all about this. The main thing is to make sure that you're not always maiming. Right? If I can get this turn of the head, bang, I want some percussion back in here. Because you can spend yourself, and you see it, horror movies, it takes a long time to cause lasting damage. If I can cause some pain, I want to crush that trachea, push on that jaw, but if I've now got a foot of space, I want to use that foot of space. If I've earned, by hook or by crook, I've tiger clawed the back of his head, and I've earned 2 foot of space, I want to take 2 foot of space. You'll note that at all times, I've held something or got something. So it might be, I've got the overhook on this hand, in which case, I've overhooked, chin jab, eye rip, trachea, edge of hand, chin jab, eye rip. You know, it should feel like a constant assault. But at certain junctures, when I feel it, you know, there needs to be, if I've earned 18 inches of space, that's a rocket-fueled runway to the unconsciousness highway. Here, it's difficult to put some fight into it. I can crush that trachea, I can cause damage to his eyes, but he's going to be screaming bloody hell. But if I can push on that enough and get enough pain, and then straight back on it, straight put the bee back in the car, ripping, tearing, mauling, take his face straight off. Does this make sense?
Yep.
What have I taken out of the fight?
His main artillery.
Yeah, his main artillery. A bloke who's never had training in his life, what's he going to hit you with most times?
Right hand.
Right hand. Guy that's had training most of his life, what he's going to hit you with?
Right hand.
Right hand. Guy that uses weapons and trains with, what does he train with the most?
Right hand.
His right hand. On what side of his body does he keep said weapons most of the time?
Right side.
Right side of his body. So if I can get, you know, this is bad, but okay, even just the weakest, limpest thing, you know, the worst grip on the world, pinky promise control. Yeah? even with this, boom, you know, the idea, anytime I put a small amount of weight, so throw a right hand and my hand just push. Boom, yeah, boom, here you go, boom. Now I'm going to hold on with the limpest linguini here. No strength, go. Am I really putting any force into you whatsoever? No, go on. Nothing, no sauce on it. So even the minimum amount of weight, I will take his pulse, punch my hand. You see what I'm saying?
No problem, pinky problem.
Be a wet fucking towel. When you're on a human being, be a wet towel. Now, as soon as I'm a wet towel, punch it. Whoa. Roberto Duran was great for this. When Roberto Duran was in the clinch, he'd be a wet towel. It'd be this. Wah, wah, wah. Wet towel. Wah, wah, wah. Right, amazing technique. Just lean on those hands, because a hand that's got even a couple of grams of weight on it can't move at speed. It's a ballistic, fast-moving missile. Any degree of weight, little finger on that, little finger, punch it. Ah. Ah. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. It seems stupid, but if I can put a bit of weight on a main piece of artillery, that takes that weight artillery out. And then I really get to work on trauma, trachea, eyeballs. Yeah? And whilst I'm doing that, you're not drawing weapons because this hand's covered, whether it's in a full overhook, a wrist grip, or the chin jab grip like we were doing before. Remember this? Mm-hmm. So this, the pinky grip if you fancy it, but anything that takes this right hand out leaves me free, crunch, rip, hit, rip, and then anytime there's a bit of space, I've turned him and he didn't like it, I've got to seize that, because if I can knock him out with that, bang, Jobs are good. You know, I don't want to be in that mole fight forever. But I've taken a piece of artillery out, I've covered the range, I've smothered the weapon, and I can use all of my World War II combatives. So you imagine these are designed maxillofacial injury and trauma. And then when I get a bit of space, I can tiger claw, or I can edge of hand. And this is where, if you think about it, I hold that tight. When I constrict that, an edge of hand here now, this is where I get maximum trauma, because like the towel analogy, all the waters come out. When I really wrap that up, all the water's out of the towel, so when I hit him, and hit him, it breaks. I've turned something brittle. Make sense?
Yep.
So with your partners, just want to practice, have a bit of a move around and a wrestle, and then decide, right, I've got something on that power hand. Yeah, maintain it. And it might be I've got wrist, and a bit like a good property investor, I've bought my student flat. Bought my first family home. Bought a country mansion. So I can always move up the property ladder. Pretty good. Very good. Excellent. Make sense?
Yeah.
But you can always take a piece of artillery out of the fight, always keep him in pain. Other thing about reaction speed.